Once you get into the detail work on tooling, this is where different styles are going to really kind of show up and be pretty prevalent between different toolers. But we're going to start rolling through here. This first tool is one that I actually have kind of took to the grinder and ground down and kind of created myself a little bit here. It's just a small lifter. I'm going to show you, I'm going to use that in these little ridges on these leaves. And then I'll also use that in here where any of these little guys come and stop at. But I'm going to show you a variation here in just a minute. If you don't have a little tool, a small lifter, or a little tool that you've kind of ground down like this, I'm going to show you what else you can use to get a similar effect. That's all the places I'm going to use it. You don't have to use this one anyways, but right here is back to my stylus. I can use this kind of in the same place. To help create a little bit of that same look. Or there's another tool called a stop that you could use in there as well. I'm going to go ahead and use my little guy here and roll right on through. From there, I'm going to go and get a small little seed. And again, this is another one that doesn't have to be, but I'm going to put one at the base of both those leaves. It's just a small single seed. It gives me a place I can follow up with my small mule's foot. Here I'm going to just hit a few of those in there, but I start deeper and then fade those off as I go. And it's pointing back down the vine. So the two open spots, it's open up around that seed and then it points back down that vine. We don't want to get that in there backwards. All right, the other place I'm going to use my mule's foot is right at the little inside corner where we have this sticker vine coming off on these stumps. And sometimes as you're tooling, you get to notice places that you had forgotten something, because it's easy to skip things. And it's super easy when you're getting started, but it doesn't quit. Sometimes it still happens. So you can see here, there's a spot that I missed shading at, and it's not a problem. I'll just come pick it up right now. Can you spot it? Can you see where I forgot to shade at? As I grab my shader, I'll show you right here. This little vine here we forgot to shade, so we'll just throw that shading in right there. Okay, picking up from there, I'm going to get my veiner out next. Now, this is a small scalloped line veiner from Berry King. I'm going to use this on the dominant stem of these leaves. I'm going to tip that over, get just the outside edge, fade that down there, and I'm going to tip the other way and get a couple on the inside. So it just really sets that stem apart and kind of helps show that's really a round stem. And differentiates that a little bit from the rest of the vine work. So we'll catch the other one up here as well. Now I'm going to use this veiner in the side of the leaf and run veins up this way. Now I don't want to run them straight out from that center line, or another style of leaf would have that center vein running up through there all the way. I still don't want to go straight out from him, so I'm going to rotate that and tip out towards the edge of that leaf. Remember, kind of looking at that 45. they rotate around there. Same thing down here. Again, I'm just going on the outside of that line there. We're gonna come on the inside. This particular style of leaf, we'll come in here and we'll touch that off with decorative cuts. All right, right before we get to our decorative cuts, I'm gonna get my round bevel. We're gonna use this as a lifter to help kind of pick up and touch off a few places in here. First off, any place where there's these turnovers, I'm gonna come in real light, but just highlight and touch that off. That's gonna help bring that dimension back in there really well. Now right in here, this is kind of smushing down my bar grounding a little bit in there. That's why I don't like doing my bar grounding till the end, is when I come back with these. But like we said before, it's worth that sacrifice if you're just learning and need to do that bar grounding early to see where everything's at. Come up to this top side here. Same thing, out at the tip of that leaf, we can kind of bring a little bit of lift into there. Same thing on these stumps. And then catch our rollovers. Spin this around. And right out here, I like to get underneath those as well. See, it's just a small difference. Again, nothing that you have to do, but it really does touch off your work when you can help bring that extra little touch of dimension to it there at the end.